All right, everybody, we've got another KingCobraJFS check-in here, because that's what my my life has become. This is where we're at. A couple days ago, uploaded a video called Night Video. Very vague as always, but in this video, he brings up some of Jessica's recent deranged live streams and addresses some of her claims and threats and the attempt at selling the explicit photos of them and stuff. He also goes into very deep detail about his mead making process, which we don't really need to go over. I mean, feel free if you want to. Let's check it out.
YouTube, so I want to make this video short, sweet, and to the point.
I wish it wasn't so sleepy here. I've also realized that, like, not that his built-in microphone on his computer helps, but this room really kind of sucks. I feel like it's just a big old bass trap. All these walls, everything's just bouncing off. But I digress.
So the drunken peasants made another video about Jessica's, my crazy ex's bull. And
Drunken Peasants, I believe, is a podcast. You may remember Jessica threatening them a while back. I think she was like threatening to like dox them or expose their families or something. I don't know.
And Jessica's
classic
videos have been clipped from all these live streams she's been doing since she got back to Virginia. And long story short, you know who it is. It's my crazy ex. We'll call her that because she's obsessed with me and she's extremely hypocritical and she's two-faced. How are you going to complain about me having an alcohol problem when you're buying me alcohol? Or for that matter, going...
That's true. She did buy alcohol because she knew it was the only way to get him to let her in. So he's like, oh, so I'm an alcoholic, but you're willing to exploit that to get to stalk me.
At home and drinking, trying to drink as much as I do, but you can't handle your because Jessica Boyle is emotionally unstable. She went from one video clip talking about how she wanted to and you could hear cops banging on the bathroom because...
I remember her from a recent live stream, like sitting on the toilet screaming concerning things. I don't recall hearing banging on the door from the police. Maybe I missed it. I don't want to hold this anymore.
You can tell her parents and the police department in her town are sick of her. Now, here's the short end of it. I told Jessica...
You think the Casper Police Department's sick of you at all?
Jessica, we broke up. I don't want to see her anymore. Please do not show up to Casper or to my house. And someone bought her a ticket and she was in town for 4 days before she showed up to my house.
Weird.
After saying she wasn't going to do it. I initially felt bad for her and I didn't want her to go homeless and I did not want my fans to be forced to pay for her. That's not fair to them either. So I'm like,
still using that excuse.
Maybe she could be a mature and not, like a mature adult and like relatively sane adult about it, but no, she couldn't. And then she told me I'd never call the cops on you, and she does it anyways. And she's gonna get mad at people for calling the cops on her when she's the one that's actually...
I feel like the thing he's most mad about is the fact that she's a hypocrite. I think he's stuck on that.
She calls me for, right? I know all this because watching the Drunken Peasants, a lot of my YouTube fans are watching her streams and clipping everything she says. So if she tries to say, well, I never said this and Josh is a piece of blah, 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 it can go, Jessica, bull. Okay.
You're going to confront her with facts and proof and evidence? And you think she's going to drop it at that point? Imagine now denying something and then being shown evidence of it. She'd be like, yeah, but when you've been lied to, when your whole life,
you know what I'm saying? The long story short, Jessica's trying to make me out in this one clip like I'm a piece of who doesn't appreciate her or the fans, because she did send me a 5-gallon jar to make mead. But here's the thing of it, she only showed interest in making it because I had an interest in it, allegedly.
Naturally.
Her mom used to make her own homemade wines. and Jessica showed no interest in it. See, this is part of her manipulation, pretend to like everything Josh likes, so it makes him easier to emotionally control. Here's the thing of it. She didn't ask me how the mead works, or how do you make it. She didn't bother paying attention to me making it on YouTube, because here's the thing of it. When you're making a jar of mead, you have two stages. You have your fermenting stage and you have your filtration stage. And the next step to making my mead is
this is a long way to say he's explaining like, oh, she's upset that I didn't appreciate the 5-gallon jar that she got me. But if she actually cared about mead making, she would have known that he needs another one for the filtration process. He can't just have one more jar. That's what he's trying to say, I think.
You take all the liquid. Jessica, she's insufferable. You take all the liquid out of the jar on the 26th and strain it into a clean jar, and you leave all the bananas and leftover chocolate behind. Discard that and rinse out your jar. The second jar is your filtration jars, and that's basically it. Now Jessica here has been clipped saying, and I quote, you know what I'm saying, that, oh, Josh has this 5-gallon jar that I sent him, and he doesn't appreciate it. Basically what she's hinting at with the way she's talking. And I was like, you didn't bother asking me, and I've told you when we were still dating, I need the other one, otherwise I'm going to have a 1-gallon bucket for every 5 gallons that are in that jar. Because
you should have asked him if he wanted a 5-gallon jar, because then he could have been like, no, I would like 2 of them.
Because you need to have a clean jar or space to filter your wine or your mead. You don't want to be drinking that straight out of the first jar. That's, just no. And Jessica's sitting here airing out my dirty laundry, trying as hard as she can to make me look bad and piss me off, and then play the victim with her fake crying, and people clip it, and now the Drunken Peasants has like a bunch of clips from all of her streams that she's made since she's been back in Virginia. And it's like, nah, dude. And on top of that, Jessica Boyle's trying to revenge me like, well, you broke up with me. Well, I want to show everyone a video of you and what I did to your
You may recall her posting pictures on Facebook, somewhat censored, of things these two were engaging in, and trying to sell them for $2,000.
So how do you like that? I'm like, everyone's seen my because of my stupid YouTube trolls who are gay for my or who are just jealous because theirs doesn't look that good, so they gotta obsess over it. And I'm not trying to be a goddamn.
God, I hate King Cobra so much and his impeccable phallus. That's what his trolls are saying to themselves.
But Jessica has mental problems. I feel sorry for her. And she can talk all this crap about me on YouTube, and when I try to defend myself because people are making accusations, because Jessica craves attention, and the whole thing boils into a stew of spill it.
Boils.
See, what's your version of the story kind of thing. It's just stupid. The only thing that was good about this particular episode is you got to see me in it, not trying to be narcissistic, but having to deal with Jared's weird ass and then Jessica's psychotic ass in the same video. It's just,
I don't know who Jared is. Is that someone with the podcast?
It's like, nope. There's a lot of little things, but I'm not going to get into it.
I don't care if there's screenshots. He can leave me alone.
Okay, so check this out. Jessica's sitting there asking me to leave her alone when she's the one stalking me to Casper. After I broke up with Jessica, I had no intentions of flying down to see her in Virginia. I figured we broke up, she'd take the hint.
I don't think there was ever a chance, even if things worked out, if you two were married, I don't think there's any chance Cobra would fly down to Virginia.
Maybe seek some mental help, and people are going to try to do everything they can to make more drama for the situation. It's bullshit, because when I first started dating Jessica, my trolls couldn't handle it, because as usual, my YouTube trolls don't like me having a girlfriend or a female friend, because they can't get laid. They spend all day my harder than my ex did, and they're more obsessed with it than she is. And on top of that, as soon as my YouTube trolls find out who I'm crushing on or who I'm dating, they harass her as hard as they can until she breaks up with me. So it does make my situation difficult. But plenty of women dig my videos, and that's all that counts. And Jessica craved the attention what I provided, but she couldn't handle the pressure of it. and she has mental problems on top of it, which made it worse to troll us both, and it made it very difficult and very toxic, and and that I could put up with to a point, but when Jessica starts yelling at me for no reason, and you can't talk to her because she's spiraling and she starts doing her mental it's too much to deal with, dude. And say what you want to say about me, believe what you want to believe, but when you got clips of Jessica...
He was like, I could handle a decent amount of the toxicity between us. The standard amount of troll intervention is fine.
Streams. My ex's streams. Tastefully put together to prove that I'm right. Because, get this, my YouTube trolls can't stand her either. Because they think they're the only ones allowed to treat me like... out of here, you hypocrites. And Jessica's a hypocrite too. She wants to give me about my drinking, but here you are in this random collection of clips that you probably deleted because you didn't want anyone to see it.
I love the concept that Josh and Jessica both have, that like his trolls attack Jessica for the reason that they think they're the only ones who should get to harass Josh, and she's doing too good of a job.
But people already clipped it too late of you whining about how you want to me still, and how you want to, and then you want to call the cops on me for being I'm not. Yeah, no one's buying your Jessica. And goddamn, that's good beer. Samuel Smith Chocolate Stout. Last one for the evening because I'm OUT out.
Everything reminds him of her.
It's the weekend. The Drunken Peasants are doing another episode, and the only reason I watched is because they were featuring me, and then they started busting out into this other weird ass. I was just like, no, gross. And then they started dogging on Jessica, and I was like, ha, this is hilarious. And then once the YouTube trolls that realize that Jessica is easier to troll than I am, and she actually reacts to it worse than I do, and doesn't learn from it, that she's easier to troll than I am.
New target.
And that they could potentially create more drama by gaslighting her and gaslighting me, and just all this dumb all this, you know what I'm saying? It's mentally exhausting, but all I can do is laugh at it because Jessica and my YouTube trolls are obsessed with me, so I must be doing something right.
With fame comes trolls. I feel like he eats it up a little bit. He's like, look at how important I am.
The only reason I bought Jessica any of this chocolate beer in the first place is because I was bragging about how tasty it was, and Jessica wanted to try it. And despite her stalking me, I tried to be a good guy because she was buying some booze, so I buy it back. So she can't justify it and say that, I'm buying all the booze and Josh is the alcohol. Off, dude. The worst. So I said...
So, yeah, he says he only sent... once she got home to Virginia, he sent her alcohol. He had it ordered from DoorDash or whatever. And he says it was because he said he would when they were together in Casper a couple weeks ago. And I guess when things were going good at that point, he was like, I'll send you some when you get back to Virginia. And then he still did, even though they had the horrible screaming fights, and she was doing the live streams without telling him, and posting pictures and videos of him that she took secretly for the purpose of having evidence against him, or blackmail or whatever. I don't know. Despite all that, he was like, I'll send her that alcohol that I promised. Don't want anyone to think I'm a liar or a cheapskate. I said I would send it. It's my word. And then she got it, and she was like, you think this counts as an apology? And he's like, no, just following through on what I said I would do. Maybe she's reaching. Maybe he's pulling back a little bit. Could be both.
As soon as you get back to Virginia, I'll buy you a 4-pack because I said I would. And I did. Instead of saying thank you to whoever sent it, she immediately goes on Facebook and shoves it in my face. She doesn't realize that the Casper Police Department's aware of my YouTube trolls and all the crazy crap I gotta put up with is just because I'm KingCobraJFS. And I already explained to the Casper Police Department that I broke up with Jessica and that she's stalking me. And the only reason I let her stay here is because I don't want my YouTube fans to have to pay that burden, the fact that she doesn't have it.
Goofy that he's still using the excuse, I only let her in because she was trying to get money from my YouTube fans. You mean those adults capable of making their own financial decisions?
Job, she just has to leech off my fans and then says I'm a lazy piece of because I didn't make wands. That's BC Rich. Or she blows Cobra.
Gotta make those wands.
Of it. Another exquisite evening of...
Exquisite. I love a exquisite evening.
To count, I had like 8 of those chocolate beers and like 1 iced tea, like hard tea, and that's enough. Seems a bit excessive, but that's fine for the evening.
Man, he's come a long way from like earlier, like last week when he was like, yeah, I got no money or alcohol. I'm just waiting for this mead to be done. He sure did load up since then.
Oh, excuse me. But I get tired
Better not make that wand for that paying customer, boy.
of everyone in my life drinks, but then they gotta count my drinks, you know? And I don't want to cause a fight over it, so when they give me about it, I just ignore it and take it, you know? Sometimes someone's gotta be the lightning for the dysfunction in certain situations, and if it ends up being my ass, then so be it. So
lightning?
Be it. Sometimes I don't want drama, I just want to chill and vibe, you know? Yeah. And Samuel Smith Organic Chocolate Stout is delicious. Yeah, I put that beer super hard. And Jessica, that's the thing of it. You could have taken the 4-pack and gone, oh, I know who gave this to me. He did say he was going to get me a 4-pack of it. Because if I
You're giving her way too much credit.
I hadn't got it, she'd call me a cheapskate and say, well, John, she would have used that in her thing, you know. She would have been like, oh, Josh said he was going to get me a 4-pack of beer and he never did that. She would have used that in her little rants against...
Why does he think that would reflect poorly on him if he didn't send it when he said he would? It could so easily be like, no, the terms have changed. I was getting that for you as a favor, and now you're being crazy and mean.
Me, and then turned around and got drunk on camera and like, you know what I'm saying? King Cobra gives Drunken Peasants a shout out. All those Jessica clips are from like all the streams she's done since she's gotten back. She was here late August to early September, and a lot of people are on my side, so I appreciate that.
Huh? What do you want, Deathbed?
Deathbed tapes. Represent.
What do you want? To come harass me? What do you...
And Jessica is too stupid to think it's probably the fake Deathbed tapes.
Maybe Deathbed's approaching her about whiskey for your woes or whatever. From the collab album that Josh and Jessica were supposed to do. Maybe Deathbed's gonna make it happen.
Because that's the kind of crap that my YouTube trolls would do. They know Jessica's got mental problems and she's gonna believe half the crap. You know, it's annoying. Someone's gonna impersonate my record manager because they want to stir up more drama if it really is him. And Jessica's not taking the hint. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just so many factors to it.
She thinks we'll believe this.
And a lot of people are not buying it, dude, and I appreciate it. We got a donation here. Rock has just donated $5. Says, she thinks we'll believe this.
I'm assuming he's talking about on the thing that he's watching, like the podcast. They got a donation.
And that's my whole point. And a point that I'll say it like Drunken Peasant said it. As long as Jessica thinks or believes what she's saying is true, she doesn't care if she knows it's not true, and if everyone else knows it's not true. As long as she believes it, then she'll think it's true, and that's what makes her truly delusional.
That's a great point. I love what they're getting at there. I think she intentionally misinterprets things and lies, but I do think that she like burns it into her brain, like whatever she wants the truth to be, so hard that she like can start to believe it herself. Whatever new outrageous version of the truth she has come up with, she like ponders these concepts until she can come up with some kind of way of spinning it where she's not in the wrong, and then she's just stuck on that for life. You can kind of tell in the way that she like completely panics when someone starts calling her out. Some people get like so deep into their own lies that they like instinctually will just keep coming up with more and more stuff as like they're getting called out. She's in too deep. She's lost in the sauce. But anyway, that's KingCobraJFS's response to some of these recent things. I don't know how she keeps coming up with new ways to get him to keep talking about her. It's got to be intentional at this point, or maybe it's him. Maybe he's still stuck on this whole thing. You know, he's not done with this yet. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this check-in here. Check out the song tribute I did to KingCobraJFS and NAL, Potion Avenue, if you haven't yet. Holly, you got to give someone else a turn sometimes. Look, I got both of you at the same time now. There you go. Bye-bye.
If I could find you now, things would get better.